Hello everybody, MillenniumX17 here. The Microsoft press briefing just ended, and overall I say it was pretty solid. A couple of cringe moments, but nothing nearly as bad. I will say this up front, no creepy children. Thanks, Microsoft, thank you for that. Finally, a year where they don't bring out the creepy children, so that was actually a good thing. Overall, I say it was strong. There was no wow factor. There was no huge pop in it. It was by the numbers, somewhat conservative. So they started off with Halo 4 live demo. There's going to be Forerunner in the game. The guy they fight one within a couple of seconds of starting the demo and pick up a weapon and keep on going, and then they get overwhelmed, and then they go to cut to a pre-rendered trailer of this, that, and the other, whatever. So that it looks like it doesn't look any better than what Reach looked like to me. Really, it didn't look anything amazing, great. It's what we've come to know. So whatever. Don Mattrick comes out talking about how to make the Xbox the center of the entertainment center. I knew that they were going to end up aiming for that. The next thing they come up with was, actually, I think this is the biggest, believe it or not, I think this is the biggest surprise of the entire event, of the Microsoft conference, was that the next demo they showed up with was a trailer from Ubisoft, which is a bunch of people speaking Middle Eastern, and it ends up being a Splinter Cell game, Splinter Cell Blacklist. Sam Fisher is back. It actually looks pretty damn impressive. He's in the Iran-Iraq border. He must stop a terror attack. I mean, the story seems pretty by the numbers, but some of the integration that they do with, like, Connect voice chat, it actually looks really good. Like, he'll come up to a building, and then through the Connect, he'll, hey, come over here. And then the guy, the NPC comes over, and then he gets him with the knife. That's actually kind of creative. I do like something like that. It's little reasons like that, but the fact that it takes them this long to get to that point kind of was a little amazing, but whatever. They say that it's the most ambitious Splinter Cell yet, I believe. So Spies versus Mercs multiplayer mode is coming back, so that's actually huge. A lot of people really like that one. Next out, Andrew Wilson comes out with EA Sports talking about how Madden and FIFA will have Connect integration. Same deal, kind of like voice commands. They show it work. It seemed to work with FIFA, and but the thing I can say with seemed to work is that it was a pre-recorded demo with the FIFA one. Madden, they had Joe Montana come out, and in a slightly awkward, banter back and forth, he demoed it live on stage. It seems to work pretty good. Him demoing it live on stage was some noticeable lag. I did notice that. But what are you going to do? I mean, there's a lot of interference in the room, so can't fault it too much. It seems to work good. You can actually call your plans out and what have you. It looks decent, but again, I don't play Madden games, so whatever. But then they strange little intersection here. They show Fable the Journey again. Pre-rendered trailer. Nothing really amazingly oh my G moment. There's nothing amazing. Holiday 2012 is when they say it's launching. Alright, so Phil Spencer comes out, claims this is the biggest year for all of Xbox in terms of gaming, and I'm like, okay. World premiere trailer for a pre-rendered trailer, mind you, for Gears of War Judgment, which is one of those games that was spoiled last week. So, take the air out of those tires. It looks like any other Gears of War game you've ever played before. There's nothing amazing here. I mean, it really doesn't. So, alright. The next one, though, we heard the rumor, it was like a couple months back that Microsoft patented the trademark to the thing, Forza Horizon. They gave the world premiere trailer for Forza Horizon. So, again, we kind of knew something like that was coming. So there's, again, we let the air out of those tires way early. So, but it does look very, very impressive. This trailer is not too long, but the amount of information that they gave in the short amount of trailer was actually very impressive. It looks like destructible environment, destructible cars. Cars can actually flip over now, which, consciously thinking, I don't It's been a long time since I've played a Forza game, and I have not yet played Forza 4, but I don't consciously remember that you could flip a car over, but you can in the trailer they showed it. It looked really impressive. It's kind of like a combination of the on-track stuff with a lot of off-track street racing, which they showed a couple of cars street racing to get to an event, which, okay, it looks impressive though. Forza has always been a solid racing franchise. It's probably, I'll say it's a safe bet. So we'll go by the numbers with that one. After that, Ubisoft came on. Who was this? Okay, somebody comes on stage whose name I can't pronounce, I'm sorry, talking about Bing voice search, which we've already had, but now they're making improvements to it. He demoed it live on stage in both English and Spanish, and it worked very, very, very nicely. I was actually impressed with that. It really does. He then talked about new content providers. Nickelodeon is going to, for their entertainment service center, Nickelodeon's now coming on board, which that's pretty big. Paramount Movies, okay. The one that really the crowd was blown away with, Machinima, is also now going to be a partner with the Xbox TV entertainment integration thing they're doing. So that was a big one there. Then they start talking about their sports entertainment. They've had a deal with ESPN for the longest time. They were talking about their MLB TV thing that they've just got going a couple months back, I'll say. They've announced now that for also deals with the NBA, with Game Time, League Pass. I don't know how it works, but they're going to have that as well as NHL with Game Center, which I don't watch either NBA or NHL, so I don't know how their special league passes work, but I would imagine that you would have to have that in addition to an Xbox Live Gold account in order for it to work together. But it's pretty big. And then they expanded on what ESPN already does. They've said that it'll become a live TV center for the ESPN app, including programming from ESPN, ESPN2, ESPN3, and ESPNU, which that was pretty big, actually. That was pretty amazing. But again, I really don't watch sports. I mean, if it was like Speed TV that they announced, that would be huge for me, but they did not, just for a small note there. But so yeah, there's that Xbox Music they announced. They claim that it's going to have 30 million tracks. It'll work across all Windows platforms, the tablet, phone, Xbox, Windows. They showed like a pre-did clip of it. It didn't really explain much. But the clip did make it look good. We'll see on that one. Then they announced a partnership with Nike to bring yet another fitness game for the Connect. If anything else, I'd trust this one better, more so than anyone else, because Nike's athletic division is pretty intense. A lot of high-end athletes go to it. We'll see how the game actually turns out. They showed a pre-rendered trailer. I think they would have done better off to not show a pre-rendered trailer. It looks rough. Really, really rough. But whatever. Mark Whitten comes out and probably drops one of the biggest things for the entire press conference. Talking about device integration, about how smart can your smartphone actually be, and how smart can your devices actually be since they can't talk to each other. And then they announced what they're going to be calling Xbox SmartGlass, which I have to say is very ambitious, because while they didn't exactly explain how it's going to work in the end result, the concept shows that you're going to be able to do both. That's my cat Spirit. You're going to be able to integrate your smartphone, tablet, and the 360 along with your smart TV. This is not a smart TV. That's my old DLP. My smart TV's in my room. It showed it working, and it looks pretty ambitious. They claim it'll work with iPhone, Android phones, and Windows phones. Again, I don't know how they're going to get, I don't know if you're going to have to download an app or if it just works anyways. I don't know. But that's very ambitious, and that's amazing, because now all of a sudden everyone's talking about dual screen technology, you know, like the PlayStation to the Vita, and then now there's going to be the Wii U with its huge controller to, you know, the console stuff. Now all of a sudden Microsoft is dropping this huge bomb where they said it themselves. Everybody already has a phone. Everybody already has a TV. Most people already have the 360, so now we're just going to integrate it all together. That's genius. That is really genius. So I don't know how it's going to work, but very ambitious, very bold, very brilliant. You don't have to buy anything more. Most people already have a smartphone. So, hey, there you go. How they're going to get like an Apple... They even said that it would work with Apple products. You know, the iPhone and the iPad. I don't know how they're going to pull that one off, but hey, you know what? It's a genius move on their part. It really is. They don't have to create a handheld device in any way, shape, or form now. They're just going to use other people's devices. So, you know, that's brilliant. They even said that your smartphone's going to become a wireless remote for the 360. Okay. Then they dropped the thing that everyone's been asking for forever, which is, no, Spirit, not that. The thing that they are dropping, though, is Internet Explorer on the Xbox 360. They say it's coming this fall. You're going to navigate through the touchscreen on your smartphone. Again, brilliant. So, I mean, that was really good. So, then they ended that segment with SmartGlass is going to work also with Windows 8. Crystal Dynamics comes out, goes live demo with Tomb Raider. Again, we've seen it. It looks good, you know. There's going to be people that are going to cut that trailer together. It's more Lara Croft moaning and groaning. If you remember from last year, people will do that again. First DLC packs exclusive. We would imagine the Sunset they were on the Microsoft briefing. Phil Spencer comes out and gives me one of the things I wanted from this year's E3. I wanted 2 new IPs from every press conference. They came out and dropped 3 new IPs, which they showed brief trailers and snippets thereof. Okay, so the first one is called Ascend New Gods. Pre-rendered trailer, looks very rough. Kind of God of War-ish, but with, you know, like, it. If you were to combine, like, God of War with quasi World of Warcraft, but every enemy you face keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, you know, kind of like, that's what it kind of looked like. But I can't really explain it in words. It's special. It's a good concept, but the pre-render trailer that they showed was rougher than shit. The next one, they didn't show any gameplay from the next one. The next one's from Twisted Pixel, and it's called Loco Cycle. I don't know anything about it. I don't know if it's a racing game or an action game. It has something to do with a motorcycle, a smart bike of some sort. We'll see on that one. And then the final one, even though they showed some kind of footage for it, I don't even know if it was gameplay or not. The last game that they announced it made no sense. I didn't know if I was watching footage from Loco Cycle or if it was from this new game until they showed a logo. And I was like, what? The game's called Matter. And it's a Connect game. And it's coming out in 2013. And it looks bizarre. Alright. Capcom comes out, shows off Resident Evil, showing off the action controls. The thing I'll say, it looks good otherwise, but the thing I noticed from this demo is that very, very dark. And I'm not talking about in tenure, I'm talking about in... there's not many colors going on here, and by dark, I mean like brightness of the screen kind of thing. It's kind of one of those sequences where you have to like squint your eyes to see what the hell's going on. Very like low light conditions is what the game, you know, the sequence that they showed was very low light conditions, and it just didn't have any color to it. Everything kind of blended in. But other than that, it looked pretty good, but we'll see on that. It's just one segment of what could be a very big game. I won't judge it just solely on that, but we'll see what happens. Alex Ruiz comes out and shows off an Xbox Live Arcade game that also works with Kinect called Wrecketeer, which apparently is going to be one of the... they never officially confirmed this, but from what they've said, it might be a Summer of Arcade title. It looks like an Angry Birds ripoff. I shit you not. It looks like an Angry Birds ripoff. You take a cannon, it's like some kind of catapult cannon thingy, and then you pull back with this and you aim with the Kinect, and then you throw it off into a distance and smash it into a structure. exactly. It's an Angry Birds ripoff. It blew me away. I'm like, really? You're gonna go there? All right. Angry Birds sold well. Why don't we copy it? A new South Park game has been announced. South Park: The Stick of Truth is what it's called. It's a new game in and of itself. It's so that you could live out a South Park episode yourself. They're gonna make you the fifth, person in the crew. I guess you can make your own character, kind of thing. They never really explained it. Trey Parker and Matt Stone, the creators of South Park, came out and were cracking the funniest jokes of the conference, hands down. Funniest thing. They were making fun of the SmartGlass Connect, the integration they were going on before, talking about how you can control the game. They were BSing, but they were talking about how you can control the game while synced to your Xbox, while synced to your stove, while running the microwave, while inside your refrigerator. I didn't say it right, but it's hilarious. It really is. They're the funniest part of the whole thing. So, and even furthermore, started off with this game. They had to map out the South Park for the first time ever. And they actually had to confuse. They're like, how do we get from Cartman's house to Kyle's house? But they're like, we don't know. So they had to do that. So it looks pretty interesting. We'll see what happens. Now, I think this is probably the part where it's the most uncomfortable part of the entire presentation. Is Harmonix's logo comes up on the screen. Dance Central 3 is announced. We're working with top artists for the latest dance move, like Usher. And then all of a sudden, Usher busts out on stage and starts performing a song. Don't ask me what the title of the song was. I don't know. He performs the whole song on stage. Nothing to do with the game. Totally big waste of time. It really is. And he played the whole time, and then like the second half of the performance, they suddenly sync the game to him, but him or none of the people on stage dancing to it are playing the game. It was just, it was roughly synced with them. So it was not good. And then the end of the show is here now, so finally. Don Master comes back out and drops an Usher pun. Usher's taken off stage right, he's on stage left. His right, whatever. So he's on that side, and then he's like, thanks for a great performance, Usher. And then the next thing he says is, we're ushering in a new era. What the fuck? That was the cringe moment of the conference. The cringe moment. Unbelievable. I'm like, wow. He even stopped and had to just himself because it was that bad. So yeah, he's like, we started with a big game, Halo 4, we're going to end with a big game. Oh my god, I thought they were going to go the whole conference without talking about Call of Duty. God forbid. No. They end with Black Ops 2. It looks like, you're never going to believe this. It looks like Call of Duty. Shocking, right? Here's the thing though. There were explosions. Oh my word. The best part, though, some of the things that I've always complained about Call of Duty happened. It was a cutscene of following if you've anyone seen the reveal trailer, it's the part where the sequence that they showed was the part where they're driving down the hallway and all the explosions start happening. They're in a presidential convoy, Madam President, mind you. We'll go with it. It's a video game. So here's the thing, the moment the guy gets control of the character, which was Mason, as a matter of fact. D. Mason was the one during the little corner of the screen thing that always goes through. Moment he gets through the control of the character kind of comes over to the left-hand side of the screen and gets caught on an edge. Something that's pissed me off infinitely on the Call of Duty universe that I've prayed that they've always fixed. Guess what? They haven't. He gets caught on an edge and has to hop around for a second. It was just a second or two, but I noticed it. He went over and then couldn't move forward and then jumping over. And I noticed it. So, caught on an edge. Later on, he gets caught behind an NPC. The NPC starts standing. One of his teammates stands in front of a stairs. He has to go down, so he has to kind of meander, push through him, Everybody knows it. Everybody knows that feeling. There's a plane sequence that ends it. Explosions, Call of Duty. We've been there. We've done that. So overall, it's a good conference. A couple of cringe moments, couple of moments that fell flat. Overall, not bad. I'll say it's conservative. So we got E3. It's actually started off better than I expected. We'll see where it goes. Next up is EA, the conference starts at 4 p.m. Eastern. So until then, I am MillenniumX17. You guys have yourselves a good day.